Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Yul Kim, and today I'll be your host for this episode of Bacteria Broadcast. In this episode, we will explore the development of antibiotic resistance in natural selection. National Geographic defines natural selection as how species adapt to their environments. In natural selection, the environment determines what traits are fit and increases their frequency by causing unfit traits to die out, while fit traits survive and reproduce. According to Jakob Habush and Neil Murray Guzman's NIH article, antibiotic resistance is caused by intrinsic resistance, such as the structure of the bacteria, acquired resistance, such as mutations, genetic changes, such as mutations in DNA and protein production, and DNA transfer. In the environment of the human body, traits that can resist antibiotics are deemed fit because antibiotics kill all non-resistant bacteria. Then, the few antibiotic-resistant remaining bacteria reproduce and replace the old population with a new antibiotic-resistant one. When bacteria become resistant to antibiotics, human health is put at risk because the bacteria can continue attacking the body, and humans have to spend more resources developing and manufacturing more advanced, expensive drugs. To investigate this matter further, I've flown to Stanford University in Palo Alto to meet some of the brightest minds working on this subject. Dr. Zhang, take it away.
Thank you for having me on the show. My name is Dr. Andrew Zhang from Stanford University. As you mentioned, antibiotic-resistant bacteria are starting to be a problem. So today, I'm here to discuss methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, better known as MRSA. MRSA, an infection resistant to many antibiotics, has become an issue in the prison system in the last few decades. According to the National Institute of Health, studies of outbreaks in prisons show that MRSA infections and colonizations have increased notably over the past 2 decades. Most notably, at one point, MRSA prevalence in the Cook County Jail in Illinois was more than 75%. Furthermore, according to the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, some estimate that over 90% of inmates in some prisons could be affected by MRSA. Considering that MRSA can become fatal if it spreads to the bloodstream or other organs, as noted by the Center for Disease Control, and that many prisons are underfunded, MRSA and other antibiotic-resistant bacteria could become a big problem in the case of a massive outbreak in multiple prisons.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now let's head over to Michael, an individual impacted by antibiotic resistance in natural selection. Here we are at Canyon Crest Penitentiary. Here you can see some of the most dangerous criminals. But recently, the Canyon Crest Penitentiary has been hit by a huge outbreak of MRSA.
Hey, over here. My name is Michael, and I have 2 more years to my sentence for jaywalking. I am barely surviving. The prison gets around $23,000 per year. That is around $65 per day for hundreds of prisoners' necessities and employees' salaries. This prison is overcrowded and heavily underfunded. As a result, this low maintenance has created unclean conditions that encourage the spread of MRSA, and the prison is unable to provide the expensive antibiotics to fight off the resistant infections. Unfortunately, I caught MRSA within the first month of my sentence. I have a high fever, a rash on my left leg filled with fluid, chest pain, and fatigue. I know a prisoner who died from MRSA in the past year, and I don't want to be next. Also, as prisoners finish their sentence in prison, MRSA is introduced into society, which can lead to severe outbreaks of highly resistant infections and diseases. We need to use antibiotics consistently and properly prescribe antibiotics to prevent the spread of highly resistant diseases and infections, unless you want the chaos in this prison to spread to your community.
1.
Thank you for having me on the show, but I have a conference boss. Bye!
That's the end of your 15 minutes. Maggie, get back to your cell.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Bacteria Broadcast. Tune in for the next episode where we discuss and explore the mysteries of life with Tim and Moby.